Hi and welcome to the video presentation on resolutions. My name is Arvind and I'm here to put you on the inside tracks of the resolutions passed by companies. By now you must be thinking that this presentation is going to be different. Yes, you're right if that's what you're thinking about, because there is so much of freshness and industry relevant information that you come across which keeps your interest alive throughout the presentation. And I would also like to say that we've done everything it takes to make this presentation seem different, at the same time giving enough room for creativity, learning and understanding things in a better way. So let's get started. What exactly do we mean by resolutions? Well, it means different things in different contexts though, but as far as industry and companies are concerned, resolutions are an important part of the meetings where significant decisions are taken. So here's what it means in brief. A resolution is defined as a formal declaration of the will or wishes of the company or the directors. Now there are different kinds of resolution. There are ordinary resolution, special resolution and resolution requiring special notice. It would be all the more easier for us to remember things if we can relate it to something that is common. So let's try and relate the different kinds of resolution to the ways that the decisions are taken in the families under different circumstances. In most families, for instance, if a decision has to be taken on simple issues, then all the family members meet up and discuss about it, and the decision will be taken based on the majority of the members going for or against that particular issue. This can be related to ordinary resolution. Now, special resolution can be looked at this way. If a financial decision has to be taken where large sums of money is involved, then the decision rather becomes a special one, and the same requires a very strong support from its family members. So special resolution should be backed up by strong support of its members. Now the third one is interesting. A scenario where you want your father to buy you an expensive gadget and which he is not keen on. Most of us resort to the proven strategy of sending an intimation or a recommendation through mom in the form of a special notice. So I guess this can be related to a resolution requiring special notice. This was just to make sure that you don't easily forget the three kinds of resolution. Going further, each of these resolution will be explained in detail. For now, let's ask Apurva what he's got to say about ordinary resolution.
An ordinary resolution is a resolution passed at the general meeting of the company by simple majority. For example, there are 1000 shareholders in a company and only 700 members are present. A resolution is passed and 251 members are favoring the resolution, 250 members are not favoring the resolution and 199 members are abstaining from voting. In such a case, the resolution is said to have been passed by the way of ordinary resolution. The votes could be casted by one of the following ways: by show of hands, by poll or by postal ballot. Unless the memorandum of the company and the articles of the company or the Companies Act requires a special resolution or a resolution by special notice, an ordinary resolution is sufficient to carry out the matter. What are the circumstances under which you require an ordinary resolution? To appoint auditors, to appoint directors who are retiring by rotation, to approve statutory report, to approve annual financial statements and the balance sheet of the company, to declare dividends, to rectify name of the company, to alter share capital of the company, to issue shares at discount, to inspect the books of accounts of subsidiary companies, representatives and the members of the holding company, commencement of new business where special resolution cannot be passed.
Thanks Apurva. Now let's listen to Kiran on special resolutions.
Hi. A special resolution is a kind of resolution where the majority of members voting in the meeting, that is 3/4 of members voting by show of hands or on a poll, either in person or proxy, favoring a formal declaration of will or wishes of the company or the directors. In simple words, votes cast in favor of the resolution is 3 times more the votes cast against it. This is required for transacting special business. According to section 189 subsection 2 of the Companies Act, any resolution passed in the meeting is marked as a special resolution if it satisfies the following three conditions. 1. The intention to propose a resolution has been specifically mentioned in the notice calling the general meeting. 2. A 21 days clear notice has been duly given to the members to attend the general meeting. 3. The votes cast in favor of the resolution is 3 times more the votes cast against it. There are different circumstances where a special resolution is required to be passed. Let's see how much my friends know about this. I'll tell you more on this later. Hi guys.
Hi Kiran. Hi Kiran.
I just wanted to know something from you.
Sure.
You know about resolutions, right?
Yes.
And about special resolution?
Yes, kind of.
Can you tell me some of the circumstances where a special resolution is required to be passed?
Well, I guess it's necessary to change the name of the company with the consent of central government, and for changing the place of registered office from one state to another state, or alteration of objects with the permission of the company law board. Khalid, can you think of anything else?
I think it is necessary to wind up the company voluntarily and to alter the memorandum to render the liabilities of directors unlimited. This is all I can think of right now.
That's absolutely right. In addition to what you people said, there are also other circumstances issued by the Companies Act. Under section 21, addition or deletion of the word private from the name of the company. Under section 31, alteration of articles of association. Under section 106, variation of shareholder rights. Under section 208, payment of interest out of capital. Under section 314, allowing the directors to hold the office of profit under the company. Under section 433, applying to the court for the winding up of the company. Under section 507, entering into the agreement with the liquidator to accept shares as a consideration for the transfer of its assets. This applies only in the case of amalgamation.
Thank you, Kiran. Now we have Venkatram to speak more on resolution requiring a special notice.
This type of resolution was introduced by the Companies Act. What is required under this type of resolution is that a company which is intending to pass any resolution, it has to serve a notice to all the members. The notice has to be served at least 14 days before the date of passing the resolution. There are two things to be excluded: the date on which the notice is served and the date of meeting. The notice has to be served under any of the methods prescribed under the Articles of Association. If it is not practically possible, it has to give an advertisement in the lastly circulated newspaper. The main objective of serving a notice to the members is that it gives sufficient time to the members to think about the resolution which is going to be passed at the meeting, or it gives sufficient time to the directors to think about the resolution which is not passed by them or which is intended to pass by any of the other shareholders. Circumstances which requires a resolution with a special notice are appointment of an auditor other than the retiring one, removal of a director, and appointment of a director in place of a director who has been removed.
Voting is an important part of the meeting for a resolution to be passed. We have Mithun to talk more about voting.
Voting of resolution at general meeting may be made either by show of hands or by poll or by postal ballot. Now we move on to the show of hands. Every shareholder has one vote on show of hands irrespective of number of shares. Now we move on to voting by poll. A poll may be ordered by the chairman on his own motion, and it must be ordered by the chairman when the demand is made by the members. The demand for the poll should be made before or on the declaration of result by voting on a resolution on show of hands. Third one, voting by postal ballot. A listed public company may, and in the case of resolution relating to such business at the central government may by notification declared to be conducted only by postal ballot shall get many resolution passed by means of postal ballot. Instead of transacting the business in general meeting of the company, postal ballot includes voting by electronic mode.
Hi again. There are resolutions passed by some of the prominent companies. We have Rachat and Vishnu to talk about these resolutions. Rachat, what do you have to say?
Hi. Yes, Kiran. TCS actually passed a special resolution at the annual general meeting held on 19 July 2005 for the following purpose. Firstly, for amendment to the Articles of Association. Next, for place of keeping and inspection of register and annual returns of the company. And lastly, for payment of commission to non-whole time directors of the company.
Thank you, Rachit. Vishnu has another case to share with us. Vishnu.
Hi. CMC Limited passed a special resolution at the annual general meeting held on 27 June 2006. The resolution was passed through the postal ballot method. It was passed by requisite majority for alteration in the object clause in Memorandum of Association as special resolution under section 17 of the Act to alter the object clause of the Memorandum of Association of Company as per postal ballot method dated 13 Jan 2007.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Now let's have an expert opinion on resolutions. Hello friends, this is Sir Vijay Raja, Chartered Accountant. Now let us have some valuable insights on the topic resolutions from him. Hello sir.
Hi.
Sir, carry on the discussion like this. How does a resolution play an important role in business meeting?
See, first of all, you are talking about why resolutions are important. Company is artificial person. Once you say company is an artificial person, then how do you decide as to what is the decision of the company? So the only proof you have for anybody is a resolution. So in any business transaction, whether you want to go for a bank loan, you want to open a bank account, whatever it is, how does a banker know that this is what is the decision of the company? It is based on a resolution. So resolution is the one which says that this is what the company feels and thinks about it, and that will act as an evidence as to what is the, in a sense, of the shareholders.
Are there any recent amendments made to the Companies Act in respect of the resolutions?
As far as the core meaning of the word resolution is concerned, there is no change. But as far as the procedure involved in filing for resolutions, there is a change. We have what is called an MCA 21, that is Ministry of Company Affairs 21st century. So what they've done is instead of manual filing, now they come out with electronic filing. So whenever you pass any resolution, you know there's a secretarial compliance, and that is you have to file with the ROC, that is the Registrar of Companies. There's something called as Form 23 if at all you're passing a special resolution. And for that sake, we used to file what is called as a manual Form 23, whereas now everything is electronic filing. So under the electronic filing mode, instead of calling it as a Form 23, we say electronic Form 23, that is e-Form 23. So now they have to go through the computer media and not through the manual filing. But for that, there are no changes in the core meaning of the word resolution.
Sir, can you brief us on the procedure of passing a resolution in a meeting in a company?
Yeah, I assume that your question is towards a shareholders meeting. So for a shareholders meeting, basically if you want to pass a resolution, you first of all have to tell the shareholders that there is something called as a proposal of the company. And how do you tell the shareholders that they are proposing to make some change? For that you send what is called as a notice. You send a notice to all the shareholders telling that we propose this resolution. So the proposal goes in the form of a notice. Once you have done that, the next step would be that at an actual meeting, you have the chairman of the meeting who starts reading out the contents of that particular resolution, and he says we propose so and so resolution. And from any of the members, he will ask anybody who is willing to support that particular resolution. So it is one of the members who gets up and he says, yeah, I propose this resolution. And then the chairman asks, is there anybody who seconds this resolution? And there's another member who gets up and says, yeah, I second this resolution. So based on one person proposing and the other person seconding, then it is put on to the floor. The chairman says, okay, fine, somebody has proposed and somebody is seconding it. Therefore now it's open to the floor whether all the members are willing or not willing for this resolution. And then depending upon whether it's an ordinary resolution or a special resolution, you go by the majority of more than half or more than 75% as the case may be, and then decide how many of them are voting in favor and against to say a resolution has been passed on. Okay. That's the basic procedure.
Sir, under what circumstances a resolution is invalid or void?
See, the question of a resolution being invalid or void as such does not arise. because the whole issue comes up is whether the meeting is valid or invalid. If the meeting has been called properly, if notice has been sent properly, and if the quorum was present, quorum is the minimum number of members required for a valid meeting. If the quorum has been present, and then you put to vote a resolution, you only say whether resolution was ultimately passed or not passed. We say that you have put to vote and it was lost. That means members did not like that idea of yours. That means the resolution what was proposed. Then we say the resolution has been lost. Or resolution was put to vote and it did not go through. But we never say it was invalid. The word invalid probably can be used only in those cases wherein with all wrong activities of the company, without the permission of shareholders or something, they only have written on the record saying that resolution has been passed. And then some member objects saying that no, nobody were present and they have simply made know that the resolution has been passed. Then you may challenge it saying that it was an invalid resolution. Again you challenge it on one ground, you challenge it on the ground that the procedure was not followed properly at all. That's the point.
Sir, whatever we have discussed earlier was the resolutions which is going to be passed at shareholders meeting. Can you brief us on the resolutions which could be passed or which will be passed from in a directors meeting?
Right, see, basically all meetings we generally say are directors meetings or shareholders meetings. If you are talking about directors meeting, of course collectively we call them as board of directors. So for a board meeting is what is popularly called. In a board meeting we call a resolution that is passed by the directors as a board resolution. Whereas if it is done in a shareholders meeting, then only we use the word ordinary resolution or special resolution. So for a directors meeting, when you say board resolution, there is nothing like the words ordinary or special. It's a decision taken by board of directors. And in practical scenarios, a day-to-day activity you keep on taking lots of decisions. And all those day-to-day affairs of the company are managed by directors, and we always keep calling them as board resolutions. Nothing ordinary or special there. We call it as board resolution. Yeah.
Sir, is there any unique thing about the resolutions?
No, the Companies Act, I presume what you're asking is whether there are some special circumstances where there's something special about a resolution. We have for directors, when you want to appoint directors, you got section 263, which says that at the time of appointing a director, you can't appoint two directors in the same resolution. I can't say X and Y both are being appointed. I'll have to say X appointed, separate resolution, Y also being proposed as an appointed director, another resolution. So you can't put in one resolution both of them together. Similarly, suppose there's a tie, wherein for 50% of shareholders are saying yes and 50 are saying no. Then you have the chairman who comes between and say casting vote. He says I'll take a double vote and decide as to how a resolution has to be passed. When there's a tie of two people and you don't know how to decide, then you have all these kind of unique situations coming up.
Thank you very much, sir, for providing an insight on resolutions.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.